Hello, Order of the Dead Unicorn. I'm Howard. And this week's topic appears to be villainry. Okay, but seriously, here are my thoughts. My villains are just tools that I use to drive my story. I'm going to draw from some recent personal experience here. And maybe that will inspire you other game masters, or maybe you have different ideas on how to use your villains. In my last couple of sessions of Valanthia on our channel, I introduced my mind flayers to a full-blown demon from hell. Corey mentioned demons, and my demon lives for carnage. It loathes kindness and decency. So this personality is generic demon. So to make it interesting and memorable, I didn't stop at making it bigger than them and stronger than them. I threw in magical powers that let it bring a hell-like biome or ecosystem to their world. I had the red mists of hell it brought here, turning innocent people into monsters too. And then I had each person that died reanimate as an undead minion, now fighting on the demon's side. And my players seem shaken. They do feel responsible for bringing a demon here. They're uncertain if they can stop it. I wanted them to be engaged. So I cranked the terror to 11, and once they win, and I do actually hope they win, they will feel accomplished and satisfied. Their first fight in this campaign, however, was completely different. They fought a human woman with necromancy. She was a villain, but she was never meant to be the main villain. I gave her a sympathetic backstory. I tainted the characters that she had killed by letting it be known that they weren't necessarily great people. So she left the players wanting to know who is out there converting random sad people with sad lives into villains. Their sympathy for her is what pushed them forward on this thread of the campaign story. And I agree with Corey that the greatest villain isn't necessarily the one that has noble intent but evil methods. In my opinion, the greatest villain is the one that fits the need for the plot. I like scary villains. I like sympathetic villains. And it doesn't matter which emotion that a villain plays on, as long as the villain is a tool used to drive the plot forward. You do need to invoke some emotion to be sure that the players are interested. Just be interesting enough to hook me into the story, and that's pretty much it. Also, as a side note, not all villains are obviously villains. My games are littered with all kinds of flawed people that fit the villain role, but only as needed. I have corrupt nobles, greedy merchants, orphan street gangs that are out there picking pockets, and at least one neckbeard necromancer using ghosts to harass the women that he can't have. I think my players have dismissed the idea that the orphans are anything that they want to pursue. Orphan hunting just isn't for everyone. Outside the city that they are in are rampaging animals and mobs of orcs. To get them into hunting those kinds of villains, I would play up the victims. The gentle farmers, the wary travelers afraid to use the roads, and so on. How do you guys see villains? What stories and villains make your players want to come back each week? You can respond below, or alternatively, you can make a response video. We'll even watch. Most of us will watch. I'll watch. I can't speak for everyone. Corey would watch. He's that kind of guy. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. We have a Patreon. I don't know what needs to be said here. Bye.